Alright, what's up everybody? We are out on a Wisconsin lake in a little 8-foot hole trying for bluegills, crappies, mostly bluegills, hoping for some nice ones here. And when we first got out here, we couldn't even find a sign of life in this 8-foot little bowl. But as we set it up, we started getting marks and started catching them. So that's what we're doing today. For some bluegills here. Alright, let's get to it and see what happens. Alright, so this time around we were on a Wisconsin lake and we just went and sat in an 8-foot hole looking for basically bluegills and maybe even some crappies. But throughout the day we found out it was a very, very hard, slow bite. We really had to work for what we got. But we did catch some nice bluegills today. Alright, let's get into the video. Alright, and there we go. First nice eater bluegill. Really slow bite right now. Well, it is the middle of the day, so I should expect that. On a tiny, tiny little jig. Nice eater right here. Nice eater. First one of the day. Alright, so yeah. First 8.5-inch bluegill. I got bluegills in the freezer I don't need anymore, so he goes back. They're all going back today here. Like I said, 8-foot hole. Let's get the fishing and see what else we can catch. Alright, we got another one here. This one's a small one. Definitely not an eater. Alright, there's a nice, beautiful little bluegill going back. Alright. Alright, it's the very cold weather is finally gone. And it's starting to heat up in the shack because it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day outside. It's time to take off the coveralls, try to cool down a little bit. Honestly, just last week we had below minus weather, and now it's a little too hot for a shack. Let's get the fish in here. Alright, so it's right after noon, and them bluegills are kind of scattered going all over. We gotta probably get out of the suit back up and get out of the shack and try to find what we can find here, because it is that noon hour when it gets rough fishing. Alright, so yeah, we went outside the shack there and drilled some holes and all that. We didn't even have a mark. So apparently trying to look for them is a big no-go. It's that noon hour, I guess, but you would still think we would at least seen some marks, but we're just gonna sit in the shack, I guess, and hope for the best. Alright, we got all nice and back in the shack, all quiet, and then the school of bluegills just came out of nowhere, and we got a smaller one there. So apparently us moving around, maybe that's why we didn't have a mark when we were walking around. I don't know. It's just very weird how we didn't even at least get one mark when we were drilling holes all over and stuff, but it is what it is. Alright, there we go. A nicer bluegill finally. On just a tiny, tiny little jig with a wax worm. Let's get them unhooked and put them back. Alright, so yeah, it's a very, very, very slow bite. I kind of expected that, how the fishing has been most of February. So that's kind of why I went with such a little jig. Because they don't really want to do much. They don't really want to do much work. They're just not really active at all. But I'm hoping the warmer weather will kick them in a little bit eventually. It seems like it's getting a little bit better, but we'll find out, I guess, won't we? So, yeah. Alright, just a little update. We are in the afternoon now. It is right around 1:30, so we've been getting a lot of marks, but now they're just not really even wanting to eat it. One problem after another, it seems like, that's for sure. Alright, so we got fish down there, and on the dead pole, instantly after I switched colors, he came in and just smoked it. A dark green on the dead pole here, and a little bit more of a lighter green on the other pole. We got fish down there, so let's get them unhooked and put them back. Oh, if I was keeping this, probably would have been an eater, pretty close to an eater. Pretty nice bluegill here. Alright, got another something here. Oh yeah, switching to that green really sure is helping out a lot here. That is a nice, probably another 8.5-inch bluegill right there. Would have been a good eater if I was keeping. Yeah. So, another 8.5-inch bluegill. We can't seem to get bigger than that, but it is a rough day, so they just don't really seem to want to bite. But there's another one. Let's get him back. Here goes this 8.5-incher. Back down the hole. About 2 feet of ice. He's got to find his way all the way back down that hole because there's about 2 feet of ice. Alright, so like I said, we switched colors because they weren't really biting. They just all of a sudden quit biting. We had all kinds of fish come through once in a while because it's really slow. They're coming in like small little schools every once in a while. But we noticed that, hey, we're not getting bites. Like, what's the deal? It was kind of alright before, but we switched colors just to see, and we put on a green little jig, and they're just that biting problem we had. Now they're biting every school that comes through, and now we're getting at least 1 or 2 out of a school that comes through. Little green jig is doing it. We had to switch from a reddish ones to green ones, and there we go. Yeah, like I said, it is so slow. Very slow. Alright, so we're just going to talk here for a minute unless the fish comes. I might have to, But don't lip bluegills. Don't do it. You can actually damage their mouth really badly. Their body is kind of awkward and stuff. Like you know what a bluegill looks like. When you lip a bluegill, you can break their jaw, do a lot of damage to their jaws. And if you could really hurt them where they won't even eat anymore, and you should have just probably kept it. Do not lip bluegills. A lot of people do it. I got to try to remember to get that message out. They say do not lip bluegills. You can even Google it. It's not good for their, mouth section. You can really mess them up pretty bad if you do so. Alright, let's get back to fishing. Alright, so all of a sudden, after 2:30, we haven't even had a mark. It's getting almost to 3 o'clock now. I don't know that's just what kind of day it is. Alright, so we just had a couple fish come on through, but now they're like just nibbling at it. Like I said earlier, it's just one thing after another with these fish. It's just such a slow and bad bite. At least we're catching some throughout the time, and some nicer ones too. I mean, we did get some good looking eater ones. So it ain't like a total bad day, I guess. It's whatever you guys want to call it, I guess. I would call it a pretty slow and bad day, but at least we're catching them today. You guys just won't believe it. I was just thinking about calling it, and here we got a crappie. First little dude. Alright. Alright, well, that's probably going to be it. That will probably do it for today. Very slow, very hard bite. We really had to work for the fish we got. That is for sure. A lot of different. We even had this. We even switched colors there. Now it's like 3:30 going on to 4. The sun is being all covered up by clouds because a snowstorm is supposed to come through. That is it for today, I believe. We will see you all later. Be safe out on the ice and hopefully catch some big fish. All right.